Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Channel. Thank you for watching. We have with us tonight a special guest, a guest that we all know quite well now, the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Bermane Stiverne. Bermane, how are you doing, champ?
Good evening.
Good evening, champ. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm doing good.
It's good to see you back on the channel.
It's good to be here.
Okay. So for those people who don't know who Bermane Stiverne is, that's on the channel. Just give people a very quick, brief overview as to who you are.
Oh, you want me to? I thought you were the host.
I'm the host, but you know, I welcome you into the house, but you're the guest.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, former world champion, about to be two-time heavyweight champion of the world. So that's basically the main introduction that I have for people that don't really know about me. So that's about it.
I guess the first question that has to be asked, and the mandatory. We know that you're mandatory for the title. We know that you're #1 contender. We've heard it for a while now. But what's going on with the fight, Bermane?
Oh, the fight is about to happen. For the non-believers or the people that should know by now, when I open my mouth and say something, I don't just speak, talk about things that I don't know, you know. So it's something that I knew like a while ago, you know, actually since Russia, I knew about it, but it was just not announced. But hey, I get to have another opportunity to be world champion again, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Take it and you know, make it happen one more time.
It's a big concern though, Bermane, that we talk about you being mandatory challenger. We talk about Mauricio Suleiman announcing that you and Wilder will fight, but yet every other article I'm seeing or hearing is Deontay Wilder unification with Parker, Deontay Wilder sitting or standing up after Joshua Klitschko, or squaring off with Tony Bellew, or Deontay Wilder with somebody else.
Well, that's how it is when you have a clown for a champion. You know, he wants attention and make noise, or I don't know, maybe he wants more followers on Instagram or stuff like that. But whatever he's doing for it's for nothing, wasting his time, because the only way that he could fight his next fight is if he fights me. So
there's been a history within the heavyweight division where fighters have been given step-aside money. Step aside, we pay you off, and let this unification bout happen. At the moment, as you know, Joshua has just got the WBA, Super WBA title and retained his IBF title. So is there any way that Wilder can say, look, I want to unify with these other two belts, and then Bermane can fight me afterwards?
Not for this case. First of all, I don't think that the IBF or whatever belt Joshua has ruled any decision about him fighting his mandatory. But like Mauricio said, Mauricio put it out there, and he said that I'm the mandatory, and I was offered offered money to step aside, but I don't need the money.
Okay.
I don't want the money. And the only thing that I want is that fight.
Step aside, man. Talk to me about this. I hear about step aside. Is it a case of somebody whispering in your ear, say, look, Bermane, you can just take this money and just hush for a side? And how does that whole process work? Step aside. Somebody ring you and say,
Well,
here's the money. What?
Basically, they offer you money to get a pass, to skip yourself, or put you on the side and just fight whoever they want to fight. You know, and
so somebody rings your people and says, we are offering this money.
yes.
So okay. Why are they skipping you? Is it skipping you A, because they don't want to fight you again because they see it's pointless? B, they don't want to see the fight again because you're a legitimate threat? Or C, they don't want to fight you again because there's a unification bout out there and more money could be made?
They don't want to see me. They don't want to see me because, first of all, I am a threat. It's risky. Obviously, fighting a unification fight, there's a lot of money. So it's a lot of different reasons why. Do they want to fight me again? No, they don't want to fight me again. Why would they want to fight me? I mean, the man could knock me out on my worst day. Everybody knows. First of all, everybody knows how I fight, and everybody knows that particular night when I fought him, I was in 100%. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot going on. So he couldn't have put me out on my worst day. So imagine what could happen on my best day.
So for you now, this step aside money, what about Mauricio Sulaimán's position on this? What does he think about this step aside money situation?
Well, Mauricio just basically announced that I'm a mandatory, and then it's to between both promoters to agree on a deal or disagree on a deal. That's when they offer the money, the step aside money, or they go to the purse bid. So Mauricio did what he had to do, announced that I was the mandatory to the crown, and after that, it's pretty much up to his promoter and my promoter to work out a deal.
Purse bids. When was the deadline for these purse bids, Bermane?
There ain't no purse bid no more.
Ah, so the purse bids are done.
Done. It's not happening. The reason why is I'm gonna tell you right now. There is an agreement between his promoter and my promoter.
Woohoo! 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 Now we're talking.
So
sizzling. Woohoo!
It's been maybe a little bit of time. People that don't know, but there is an agreement. The fight will happen. It's just about to it's just a matter of finding a venue and a date.
So it will happen.
Like I said, even when he went to London and did all of that with Tony Bellew and go to the fight and some kind of unification fight, it was in vain. I don't know why he did that, but only him knows. So in the meantime, he could bounce here and there, fly around the whole world, but hey, like I said, he has to see me.
So we can exclusively announce that the fight is definitely on. There has been an agreement that Bermane Stiverne will face Deontay for a second time. TBA, to be arranged, date and venue.
I've been trying to tell you guys.
Now, I see that smile in your face. When I see the Bermane Stiverne smile, you know it's a wrap. See, I saw that smile. I mean,
you could you could tell when people see me train. I don't train for nothing. They see me get ready. I don't get ready for that. If I get ready, it's because something's about to happen. So
wait, can he?
Go ahead.
Can he get out of this? Is there any way, shape, or form he can get out of this situation now?
Too late now. I mean, how can you? There's something that I'd like to ask everybody that would think that this won't happen. Is to grab a dictionary and look up the word mandatory. Like, what is the definition? What is the definition? The definition of the word mandatory?
You have to.
I mean, I know. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sometimes people would be like, it's not gonna happen, because a lot of people, man, I've been saying that for months, and I was just not saying that I know it's official, because I knew it was official, but I would probably say to people, look, I'm the next one, and they're like, oh no, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And it was just, I don't know.
But you see what there are media outlets. Media outlets are quite sneaky at times, and they'll say something. They'll put things out there and put a lot of misinformation out there and say, "Oh, well, there's doubts about the Wilder Bermane Stiverne fight, and there's this," just because they haven't got the information. So they'll put anything out there. That's what it is.
Yeah, of course it is. But not in this case.
So are we looking at somewhere like September for the fight?
Maybe before. September would be a worst case scenario, but we're looking into between July and September.
July and September.
Yeah, between those dates. But like I said, we probably July. Like I said, I think the worst case scenario would be September.
Okay. So hold on a second. So your worst case scenario would be September. So how do you, as you're training now, you've been training for ages. I mean, I've seen you training and training and training. How do you not overdo it then, Bermane?
No, but because this time I'm doing it the right way. Since the first fight with me and Wilder, the overtraining, and I wanted it so bad. I overtrained, dehydrated myself. This time, we came back for the Povetkin, and we hired people, the right people, talked to the right people, doing the right preparation, training. Like it's the diet, everything. So we doing everything that needs to be done this time. So I feel good. I feel great. I've been, even when I was getting ready for Povetkin, I was in super shape. I was in the best shape of my life. I felt great. Even going to Russia, and we're doing it again this time.
Okay. The next question I'm going to ask you is, I saw the other day with you on a drip, and then I know Deontay, when he saw you at the expo, said that you looked bigger and bulkier. Can you explain all that before people start getting their ideas as it's something else sinister as to why you're getting bulky?
Just like I said, I'm eating the right things. The definitions, I'm a little bit more leaner than I was. It's all about part of my diet.
Okay.
Is things that you can stop eating or eat. It makes you feel and look different. It's magical. Like, you wouldn't even believe it, because I didn't believe it. Just the certain things that you eat and things that you don't eat, can make you look way different than you look when you because us heavyweight, we tend to because we heavyweight, we allow ourselves sometimes to cheat and have what you maybe the shortcuts, But this time I'm listening to everybody that's around me, people that I choose, people that I trust, and that I see the results.
Okay, I've got some people in the room here, Bermane. I've got some questions to ask you. I think the first person in the room is good evening, Catherine Watkins, 83. She says, you forgot who you are, Bermane. I think that was to do with our intro.
I forgot. No. In what sense? In what sense did I forgot who I am?
She meant that when I asked you earlier on, introduce yourself and who you are. She said, did you forget who you were?
No, of course not. I was just being lazy. So I was trying to have the host
do some work. That's right. I understand that. Yeah, do some work. Okay. Let's see. She smiles. And then you've got a fan here, a big fan of yours, Bermane. The fan says here, hello, Bermane. Name is Somaya or Soma Hedgedos. I think it sounds like she's maybe Mexican or something. Hello, Bermane. You are my best boxer. Go, champ. My favorite boxer. Give me autograph.
Hey, I'm all about autographs. So I mean, if ever we cross path or I'm not this is something that I don't ever refuse. So
it's something you're
autograph is for the fans. So
okay,
of course.
So
Bermane
Stiverne autographs are available. Yes, is that a yes from you, Bermane?
Of course, yes.
Great. Well, then, if you start getting a bag full of autographs to start signing, don't blame us. Okay. Anyway, next.
Yeah.
The sports junkie fix. The sports junkies fix says Wilder didn't realistically have a choice. Vacating the belt makes absolutely no sense if Stiverne refuses to step aside money. And then as number one champion either fights, gets granted exemption, or vacates. I was hoping Stiverne was going to smash Miller to bits, hopefully sometime in the near future. Your right of reply, sir.
Hey. Oh boy. Let me choose my words carefully. Boy. All I can say is that the second fight that's going to happen, the second time I fight him, it will be totally different. Totally different. I can swear on my life. It will be different. There's no question that I would take care of business.
You mentioned.
A lot of people was disappointed. The first fight. I understand, but also the fans of people that knows me and knows how I do fight. They knew that night something was off with me.
You mentioned
there's a reason why. There's a reason why he can knock me out. Well, he could knock me out, and he's still out.
the right hand of Deontay Wilder. He was behind on points against Mr. Washington, and then pulled out one right hand, and that was it, basically. I know you said that he made an error.
Even if you look before when he used to throw that right hand, guys was like laying down and not trying to get up or anything. Even when he hit Gerald was hurt, but not to the point where he couldn't continue. But the right hand, you can see it. I watched the fight, and he was not too comfortable throwing that right hand like he usually do. And even if you throw that right hand, even that first fight, every right hand that he threw at me, I ate like it was fruits. It didn't. Like I said before, Ariola hits way harder than him. And not that he don't hit, but it's not like what people. His record and the way he hits is two different things. His right hands obviously are for a journeyman. But once you step into that elite top 10, top 5, it doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
And I proved that.
You have proven
I proved that the first fight.
But do you need to prove it?
I mean, no, but you know what? There's one thing that I did in that fight, and I let all my emotion get out of me. My emotion took over. Is at one point in the fight, it was just about proving him that he could knock me out, and I got into it. You can't knock me out. You can't knock me out. I'm gonna show you can't knock me out. So it was basically showing him that he could knock me out. But then that cost me the fight. You know what I'm saying? So, this is a mistake that I won't, because this is an individual that I dislike. I can't be in the same room as him. I don't have hate per se for people, but
it's pretty close.
He's a special individual that I don't have or don't admire or don't. I have all my opponents in the past, and had it. Me and him, words exchanged, and we fought. Telling me that he was gonna whoop me or and stuff like that, and we, had verbal altercation. But after the fight, it was all love. Him,
there's something, but there's something there. I mean, we talk about, we've explored it before, and I don't want to explore you tonight. I know where we go with this. I know where we go with this.
You can say it. You can say it. I don't care. I don't care.
But we know where we go with this. But there's something there. I don't, because I haven't got to the bottom of what it really is. But there was something there before the fight between you and him going to fight. Then you two got in it at the press conference. Then you fought afterwards. And it's all, this is almost the only other thing that I remind of really bad feeling like this is when Ben fought Chris Eubank for us in the UK. That real intensity where there's a real dislike before, during, and after a fight, there's still a bitter taste. He was caught in the press recently talking about, I think he mentioned that this time he wants to finish you off for good. I mean, really distasteful from his end. And then, you obviously have got no loss for him either. But what's the point? Where is it for you? Where did this all start? I mean, what makes him so different?
He wants to finish me up for good. He never finished me off the first time. I I didn't go to the hospital because of him. I went to the hospital because I was dehydrated. So, but I don't know. You know, I don't have problems with nobody or dislike anybody in my life. I don't know. I just can't
take him.
I just can't. With him is I just can't. I can't. I just can't. You know.
Is he?
I'm a respect. I mean, I respect everybody. You know, I respect everybody. I have love for everybody. I could have issues with anybody, but then you know it's not that much of an issue. You know. But him, I just can't. I just can't. I just can't. And that's something that I had to control the first fight. I had to control my emotions, and I totally forgot to do that, you know, because I let my emotion took over.
But you say you let your emotions take over, but yet, as a fan here, you say that you let your emotions take over, but we haven't moved forward in terms of how you feel towards him. So literally being in the same room as this man again, those emotions are going to come up again. I mean, you don't like the guy, so how are you going to control those emotions?
The emotions, if we're in the same room, you know, is what. But I'm talking about in the ring when I have to do my job and fight him and knock him out.
Yeah, but when
these are the emotions that I'm supposed to control, and I am able to control them.
But when in your career, when your career, apart from the Deontay Wilder fight, when in your career have you had to control your emotions to the point of where you're at now for the biggest prize in boxing?
I think you know I was a bit emotional at the second fight with Chris Arreola. You know.
But you'd beaten Arreola in the first fight. That's different, though. You beat Arreola in the first fight.
Yeah, but the fact that they sneak and had him fight me again the second time, you know, I felt like it was, you know, an inside job, or, you know, they you know, they didn't believe that I beat him the first time and it was a luck or whatever. You know, it was all the emotion. Of course I was mad. I was not happy with the situation. But then after the fight, you know, Arreola is a cool guy. Matter of fact, I saw him last weekend at the Fan Expo. We talked, we took a picture together, and you know, it's all love.
Yeah, but it's all hold it. It's all love because you whooped his behind twice. If he had whooped your behind twice, would you give him the same love?
No, and I'm telling you, win or lose, which in my mind, but whatever happens, I would not. I mean,
you there?
Yes. I just hello.
Yeah. Yep. We're fine.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's just something that
There's got to be a trigger point, though. There's got to be something. Is it character? Is it something he said to you? Is it the way he's conducted himself as champion?
Everything. It's everything about him. Everything he does, everything he stands for. You know, like for instance, if that was me, if I was Dominic Brazil when that incident happened with his kids, you know, me personally, I mean, I promise you personally, somebody would have went to jail, and I think I would have went to jail that day. You know, it's just that he is who he is, you know, and he pretends to be something else that he's not. You know, and I could read through people, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, if a man could slap another man in front of his kids, and 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 then I come to tell you, listen, my kids are here, and then you say F your kids, and you know, this is it's sad. It's really sad.
I
But it is
understand.
what it is. What it is. It's not just before that. It's these things like this just confirms what I have him, or what my thoughts of him, the way I think of him. So it is what it is. And also he knows who to mess with and who not to mess with.
Okay. Few people back in the room has got a few things to say to you, Bermane. All love. Let's see. Catherine continues by saying, "It's okay. You remembered now." So she's responding to earlier on. Samaya says, "Many thanks, Bermane, and thank you for your personality and your talent in the ring. You are a big man. God bless."
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The sports junkies fix. Stiverne is fundamentally superior to Wilder. He's just got so long and athletically gifted, and has a game changer. If Stiverne remains defensively responsible and uses a superior ring IQ, he wins. What are your thoughts on that, Bermane?
Is he a trainer? Is he a trainer? No, I mean that right there. This is something that we talked about in the gym. You know, pretty much. You know, using for this fight, of course, not using my emotion, but
Your
my
brain.
my head. You know, to prevail. So, and this is what we plan on doing. You know, I didn't lose the fight because he's better than me. Um, I do believe that I am more talented than he is. You know, um, but like you said, you know, it's all about being smart in the ring. You know, which I did with Areola. You know, I didn't fight his fight. I had to fight differently. So, um, which the first Wilder, I won't be fighting with my emotions or my anger.
Okay.
It will be all mental. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Question from a gentleman here. Says, "Hello, Bermane. I'm a big fan. I'm your big fan, but I think in your career was more, or maybe should be more. Why were you so inactive in recent years? For example, the match against Povetkin would have been more important in your career." Peter. So the guy's Peter that left the message.
The inactivity a lot. I would say, especially those past 3 years, was injuries. You know, ankle, knee, and wrist. You know, um, overtraining. Uh, you know, I was offered a few fights, even between the Wilder and what's his name?
Rossi.
I forgot the name.
Povetkin.
Right.
Rossi.
Yeah, I was offered a few fights, and you know, in the preparation, I got hurt. Even when I fought Rossi, I was still hurt. I just took the fight because you know, which I shouldn't have took. I shouldn't have took that fight, but I took it, and you know, it wasn't a fight that I should have took. I shouldn't have took that fight. I was still injured. Um, you know, once you this is boxing, man. You people get injured, and you know sometimes we take fights that we're not supposed to take while we injured, and you know this is one thing that I did. right after that, I just decided to make sure that I was 100% injury free, you know. So, and then, you know, I got the vacant fight, so I got ready for that one, for this one. And we all know what happened, you know. That fight didn't happen. And here we are today, you know.
Frozen. Screen's frozen. Oh, there, you're back now. Right. Question to ask. In terms of training, see you're doing a lot of training in videos. Is this core training you're doing now? Just general core fitness training? Or what?
Core. I mean, I don't really put everything, you know. What's his name? I have there's somebody that posts the post, but he doesn't put all the workouts in there. But it's pretty much a lot of conditioning and core together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's just like putting money in the bank, you know.
So, explain to us how a typical day, or a typical day in the life of Bermane Stiverne would be. See, the fight isn't up. We haven't got the fight yet, but so
Right.
what's the sort of?
Well, I mean, right now, you know, we got, you know, 2 or 3 workouts in a day.
Okay.
We got the conditioning, the core. You know, it's not like we're doing weights like bodybuilding, but we're using the weights. You know, mostly all the workouts are mostly to have my heart rate, you know, to the roof, and then bring it down, and pretty much, I mean, conditioning, you know.
Okay.
We got that in the morning, or sometimes we switch. We run 3, 4, 5 miles in the mountains, and, you know, we switch it up, you know. But it's normally 2 workouts a day. Obviously, during the week, you could get a massage, you know. And the most important thing also is what you eat, you know, and the vitamins and all the other stuff that you are supposed to take for your muscles, or to help you feel better.
So what's made you make the difference in terms of your diet, or what was the trigger point? Was it a loss that was a trigger point? Was it somebody who advised you to make the changes? What was the
Well, you
wake up
know,
call?
I was doing it myself pretty much. I had, you know, ideas from, you know, people, and I would put them together, and then, you know, do it myself. But now that I have somebody that's actually behind me, and, you know, physically there, and help me with my vitamins, so it's way different.
So I know Caribbean food, we like to eat lots of chicken and rice and dumpling and dasheen, and
I miss it. I can't. I was not right now.
so you can't eat that stuff.
Dumpling, festival dumpling, fry plantains. Not right now.
No. Wow, because I mean, I had Lennox talking about plantain and dasheen and soul food.
I do eat the plantains, but it's boiled, not fried.
Not fried. So I
Not
mean,
fried.
okay. So
No.
so is it rumor or is it truth? Because like Anthony Joshua said, his whole secret is African food. That's what makes him so big and strong. Other people have other theories on that, but he believes it's the African food. That's the secret.
Of course, no. When I say I don't eat the Caribbean food, I still eat it, but I don't eat it fried, because, you know, we like to fry stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so
I
do eat. Right, I do eat if it's on the grill, or if it's baked. I eat it, but you know the fried stuff, you know, like it's you know, you
I
know.
know.
But I just you know the rice, like for instance, like if I have oxtail with rice, then it would be brown rice, which I hate brown rice. You know.
Yeah, my wife's got me into brown rice.
The brown rice doesn't taste like the regular rice. You know what I'm saying? Because the regular rice is what we used to, but the brown rice is more healthier than
of course.
That's the kind of food I eat. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like little changes, you know.
So the other thing is a heavyweight meal. The idea I have of a heavyweight meal is a guy eating 3 or 4 times a day, big steaks, eggs, eggnogs, pork, ribs, and all sorts of a whole thing of chicken. Is that what is that?
Well, they got me. They have me eating 8 times a day.
How many times a day?
8.
8 times a day. So it must be handfuls of meals then. Handfuls of meals.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of snacks, and there's a lot of different, you know, obviously there's a lot of greens, a lot of fish, a lot of vegetables, and you know, stuff like that. But I do. They have me eating about 6 to 8 times a day. So I would say maybe every 2 hours I got something in my stomach, just to keep my metabolism
okay.
running. It's so funny to see how you lose weight quicker by eating that
way.
Lose weight by not eating.
Yeah, it's true.
Because people think that when you don't eat, you'll lose weight. Nah, I'm surprised because I eat about 6, 8 times a day, and I lose weight quicker than if I don't eat.
Okay. Got another question in the room for you, Bermane. Hold on, let me just fire this question up. You've got a few questions in the room. Good evening to people who've joined the room with us. Let's see here. Question for Bermane is: hello, England. Can you ask Bermane to give us a breakdown of Klitschko Joshua? We're going to do that afterwards. Conditioning, huge key to beating Wilder. His power carries into the deep water, carries into deep waters, but his fundamentals get worse. Terrible at times, actually. And that's the Sports Junkie Fix that says that. Any thoughts on that, Bermane?
Can you
repeat the question?
The connection went. Yeah, please.
Sure, no worries. I'll go back and ask you a question again. And it's the Sports Junkie that asked the question. He says, conditioning, huge key to beating Wilder. His power carries into deep waters, but his fundamentals get worse. Terrible at times, actually.
Well, you could look. I mean, did Wilder got any better since he fought me? I think he got worse. You know, he's a man that likes to rely on his power that he think he has to knock people out early. You know, but like I said, I mean, I believe that once you are well conditioned, you know, you'll be free to do whatever you want in the ring. You could take Floyd, for example. The reason why he's so successful is because he always makes sure that he's conditioned. And that's why he's able to do whatever he wants, you know?
Okay. Question here from Laszlo. He says, Bermane, do you have any idea what to do against an extra high tall opponent? You're better boxing than Wilder, but he's taller. The difference is a lot, 15 centimeters. Do you have a strategy? Maybe
Of
you
course,
could hit broken wrist.
No, in my amateur days, I was more successful with taller guys. It's just a matter of going back to that. You gotta be able to fight, because fighting somebody that's taller than you and fighting somebody that's just the same height as you, you can't fight them. You can't fight them the same way. We have, like I said, my specialty was always guys that was taller than me, and all you gotta do is just go back to that, and it's just about the way I prepare myself.
Getting on so it's about you getting on in the inside then.
Right. I believe I have, like I said, I also believe that I have the right training for it, the style that we are going to use for that fight. Like I said, man, it's just a matter of the preparation.
Your style, the style that you've had throughout your career, is always, from what I've done, has been very much of a counter punching style, laying off the ropes, hands down by the side, throwing the left hook, catching guys, will get them in the corner, moving one way and setting traps.
That was for Areola.
Yeah.
That was just for Areola. That was for Areola.
So
that was for Areola. It was just I was just putting my hands down just to set him up to come in, because he likes to attack and he's a offensive fighter. So that was just a setup for him to come in, to have my left hand down.
So if Wilder now decides to box you for this next fight, this rematch,
however, come out and try to fight me, he's in trouble.
So are we looking at a Hagler-Hearn sort of situation of the heavyweight division? Because that is what
we're looking at. We're looking at a Mike Tyson, Frank Bruno.
Okay, why'd you say that, and not Hagler-Hearns?
Maybe because they're smaller weights. But I mean, I can't compare myself to Hagler or Earns. I could never do that, But it's not that I'm comparing myself to Tyson, but it's just that it would be. I was just saying that because they're heavyweight. He's a heavyweight, and then it's a heavyweight division. That's all.
So what about engaging?
What about what?
What about engaging? I mean, like literally from round one, engaging and saying, well, taking the fight to him and making him fight you, and then trying to catch him on as he's throwing shots himself.
Like I told House, when I'm about to when we go back to the corner and he gets out for me to go fight, all you gotta do is just press that red button.
Now.
And let me go.
The first fight, I know he talked a lot about him having a weak chin, can't take a shot. Oh, it's a cough. Has that ever changed?
You he can't. The only time I think I remember vaguely, I think it was the 5th or 7th.
Sixth round 6, I think it might be.
Right, and I threw a right hand and he started dancing. He started to dance. And like I said, I wasn't unable to fight the way I fight. But come on. Every fighter he fought after me, I think he had about five or six fights after me. They all caught him with a right hand. Some of them, even Molina made him a little shaky, you know. Come on, it's not. It's really not what people think it is.
It's not rocket science.
It's not. It's not. You know, he's just a human helicopter. Punches anywhere, any way. His last name speaks for itself.
Do you feel ashamed you got beat by him?
At times, yes. Not shame. I wouldn't say shame.
Embarrassed?
No, not embarrassed. Just maybe frustrated. You know, because I know I have way more to offer. You know, if you'd have beat me and knock me out and beat me and give me a boxing lesson, I'd have shut my mouth and keep it moving, you know. Yeah, but that's not the case. That's not the case at all.
Okay, I'm going to talk about two fights here. I'm going to mention. First of all, we both had an opinion of Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua. Here we go. You were quoted in saying that Joshua was a bit robotic and a bit inexperienced, a bit stiff. Right. And in your words, you tell me how you saw the fight.
Well, I saw the fight. I saw a Klitschko that was scared. I don't know. The man had all the tools to do what he needed to do. He had him on the hook. Let him go. It's just even. I mean, I don't know. It's Klitschko is. I don't know. Didn't go forward at all to the point where he practically let the young gun believe that he could actually win. You know, because I remember the what time did he knock him out? What round?
What 11? Joshua knocked him out 11. Joshua dropped
the last three rounds. The last three rounds. Joshua was started to get confident in going forward and working that body and just getting confident. And then Klitschko just, I don't know. Klitschko was just, it was a typical Vladimir with no heart.
Okay.
No balls, you know. But nevertheless, you know, you can't take away from Joshua.
He's done something though.
He did great.
Klitschko got off the canvas.
He went down. He went down. And he got up and continued to fight. You know what I'm saying? So you can't take that away from Joshua.
Mm-hmm. Does that make Anthony Joshua beating Vladimir Klitschko the best heavyweight in the world?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
On paper. Because he beat Vladimir Klitschko.
Right. I mean, Fury beat him too. Fury was the first one that beat him. You know.
But Fury's no longer. Fury's 300 or 400 pounds and we don't know when he's coming back to box, so he's kind of out of the equation.
He's done.
He's done.
He's done.
You don't think he comes back?
Once you in that business right here,
yep,
you're done. You're done.
Uh-oh.
There's no rehabilitation for that to come back in boxing and plus I heard he's like 360 pounds or something like that.
Yeah.
There's no way he's gonna come back.
And if he came back and he got himself in shape, could he still get to the heights of where he was before?
Nah. No. Not the same. There's one thing with in boxing once you're in that lane and everything goes your way, you're in that lane. As soon as you switch lane and try to come back to the lane, it's not gonna.
Wow.
It's not gonna be the same. Not gonna be the same.
So this situation now, Joshua being the next best thing in the heavyweight division, where does that put Bermane Stiverne in terms of, should you beat Wilder, will you accept a call from Eddie Hearn? Oh.
Say what?
Yeah. Would you accept a call from Eddie Hearn?
If what?
If when you become WBC heavyweight champion of the world for the second time, would you be interested in going as a unification bout?
Oh boy.
Or would you rather fight Shannon Briggs?
I have one thing in mind right now in this to get this fight done. If I want to talk about any fight in the future, not really. I'm really focusing on my rematch.
Okay, fair enough. David Haye was in the walking up the Great Wall of China today. Would you believe? He wanted to let us all know that he's off the crutches, and he will make a remarkable recovery, and will be fighting sooner than people think. Stiverne, David Haye?
He
in the future?
He say what?
Stiverne Haye in the future, maybe? It's nice money.
Oh. There's a man that opened the doors for anybody to be heavyweight. Now everybody that's super middleweight or light heavyweight don't think that they could just walk into the heavyweight division and just fight any kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Tony Bellew versus Bermane Stiverne for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. The former WBC Cruiserweight Champion of the world challenges the current WBC Heavyweight Champion of the world. What about that? Oh, you couldn't build a better script right there. You walked into that.
You coming with all kinds of
trouble.
Did he move up in weight?
What's that?
He move up?
Yeah, he's a heavyweight now.
Huh?
He's a heavyweight, but Bellew is a heavyweight.
Is he heavyweight?
Yeah.
I think that they taking this division lately. I don't think it's a good move for him, but it is what it is.
Talking about, he says that he's a better boxer than Wilder, and he's smarter than Wilder.
Yeah, but the heavyweight in heavyweight, it's a different world.
He took David Haye's best punch. That's what he says.
They barely touched him. Barely touched him.
So would you entertain?
Yeah, but listen, David Haye was a cruiserweight too. That moved up heavyweight. So they practically it was a cruiserweight fight that we watched.
But Haye likes to tell us that he was a heavyweight that boiled down to cruiserweight.
Okay.
You don't believe that?
I mean, it is what it is.
So back to this Bellew thing. Bellew, Stiverne.
What about it?
I'm asking the man. I mean, is it something that? Hey, listen, I'm looking for some headlines here. I want some more. You're not going to give me a time and date yet of when you're going to fight. Why? So I've got to do something entertaining, a little bit of entertainment. I mean, come on. You know, I'm digging for something. God.
Don't they have a rematch or something? Him and David Haye?
Yeah, I believe they may fight in the November, December time, potentially.
Okay. Well, they should fight.
And who wins the rematch?
I don't know. Because I thought what I thought was going to happen didn't happen.
What I thought was going to happen didn't happen either.
I don't know. I was. Whew. It was very interesting.
We've got we've have explosion of people in the room, Bermane. I'll go through the questions. You've got quite a few people that said come in the room. Okay. Catherine Watkins says, Klitschko AJ, I was there. P. O'Neill says, evening, Ingram. Good evening. Personal question from your fan, Summer. Summer asked the question, a personal question. When are you planning a family, kids? Can you help their children in Haiti? Summer asks Bermane. And Bermane's gone missing for a minute. Okay.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bermane, yes. Did you get the question?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah. Any answer to that? You're one of your biggest fans.
About the kids in Haiti, is that what you said?
She said, are you planning to have a family? And the next thing is after and then the second thing is about helping the kids in Haiti. And then Catherine jumps in and says, LOL, that's a bit over personal, says Catherine Watkins.
It is a bit personal. So,
I mean, the answer is.
But I have actually I'm working on my foundation in Haiti. It's called the Bermane Stiverne Foundation. So it is in place. It is active. You know, I should be going to Haiti whenever this fight is done, and you know, pretty much start working for real in Haiti and have a lot of there's a lot of projects that I have that I'm trying to get done. Obviously, I don't have the time right now because of my preparation, but I'd say before the end of the year, things will be done or halfway done.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. Ingram, you sound ill. Get well soon. You sound like you've got the flu. I have indeed. I've not been very well for the last week. Are you planning a preparatory match before Wilder? Is the mission not much? That's interesting.
If I'm what?
Preparing to have a fight before you fight Wilder. Would you do like a Sean Porter thing where Sean Porter had like a sparring session, like open sparring session sort of thing before the fight, a practice match before the fight?
I'm not sure to understand what he's asking.
Like, are you going to have a? He's basically asking, are you going to have sort of like a in-house fight before you fight Wilder again?
No, I don't think so.
So, for example, it could be you fighting, sparring with, I don't know, somebody who's tall and long. I don't know, just some tall, long, lanky guy you're sparring against to prepare for Wilder, and just like how Porter did, he sparred somebody before he fought someone.
No.
Okay. How much better physically will you be for the fight with Wilder?
100%. 100%. That's why I have a lot of people that's in place and doing what they're doing. You know, I'm taking care of the smallest details just to make sure that I am 100%.
Okay.
Physically.
And just to repeat,
but it is physically, but it's on this one is pretty much psychologically and emotionally. So,
does that mean would you employ a sports psychologist for that?
Excuse me?
Would you employ a sports psychologist for that?
No. It's not to that extent.
Do you see the point of a sports psychologist? Do you see their need?
I see the point. Yeah. We had that when we were when I was on the national team.
Yeah.
We had that. You know, I know what it is. Okay.
There's something I was going to ask you, and there's a lot of talk about it. Guys being too small for the heavyweight division. What are your thoughts on that? A guy who average height 6'2", 6'3", versus these guys who are now 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". Is that still fair for you, do you think? Or do you think there should be another division for guys, like a super heavyweight division for guys who are 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", and weighing a certain amount of weight?
Not really. I mean, if that would have happened, it should have been there like maybe 50 years ago, you know. But to do it today is, you know, it's not. I don't see the point of doing it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, look today. All the champions today, they not even over 250.
What about Joshua?
I mean, I was surprised that he came out at 250. You know?
Were you surprised how well his stamina held up?
How his what?
Stamina.
He was a little bit tired, but you know. But like I said, he has a lot of. He built a lot of muscles, so I'm not sure if that's going to help him down the line. But right now, you know, he's the main attraction. So.
Did you see Vitali Klitschko's face after the fight? And did you hear that Vitali and Joshua supposedly almost came to blows at the end of the fight? We know how Vitali is anyway.
Yeah, I heard something happened in the dressing room when Joshua went to see Vladimir. And well, you saw Vitali's face when.
I saw the face afterwards. That face, if looks could kill, I think Joshua would be a dead man by now.
Oh yeah.
Now that's a serious man there.
Hey, who knows? Maybe Vitali might make a comeback.
Now that man there. I mean, I had this conversation earlier with a friend of mine. He goes, Vladimir, yeah, okay, Vladimir, but Vitali, that's a different conversation altogether. Do you subscribe to that?
It is, because he's different than his brother. You know, Vitali is going to go and get it. He's going to walk you down and throw punches.
Now, would you say that Vitali Klitschko actually is a bad man? Would you say that he'd say he's a bad man in heavyweight? Would you say he is? Would you say that it's fair to say that? Or would you say that's a bit overhyped?
He's the realest of the Klitschko brothers. He's one of the realest.
If he were to come back in the heavyweight division today, would that throw things upside down, or do you think he's past it and finished now?
No, I think it would be good.
It'd be exciting, don't you think?
I think it would be good.
Do you think he'd have anything else to offer?
I think so.
Where would you put your money if he challenged Joshua? Where would you put your money?
Come on.
Is it a foregone conclusion?
I put my money on Vitali. He's like I said, he's obviously he's the better of both brothers. So I don't, he's not too old either. How old is he? 42, 40?
42, 43, so I think so.
Yeah, he's still got a couple fights in him.
He said, I think about about a couple of days before the actual Joshua fight with Vladimir, he said he'd only come back to fight Lennox Lewis, jokingly. I didn't think after the face he pulled at Joshua after that fight, he seemed to me he was ready to go there and then.
Well, do you even know what happened? What was said, or
I don't know.
All I heard was, I don't know.
You heard something.
I think Vitali was more embarrassed and frustrated than anything else.
You think so?
Of course, the face he made. The face he made when his brother lost.
Well, something out of a Rocky movie, wasn't it? Let's be honest, it was something out of a Rocky movie.
Yeah.
But it does make me laugh. It kind of makes you think like Vitali still believes when he gets to the ring and he's like standing next to his brother, he still feels he's a boxer. He still feels that. He's still got that all there.
But if you look at the fight, Vladimir was winning the fight.
He was. He had Joshua on the back foot.
Yeah, and then the last 2 rounds, I don't know. Joshua came and started to put pressure and throw him body shots and got him with that uppercut. But we all know Vladimir always had a glass jaw. That was always it was always known.
So, Bermane Stiverne, 90,000 people, Wembley Stadium versus the future of boxing. I didn't say that. Now that was said by Mark Ratcliffe. Mark Ratcliffe says Bermane Stiverne, AJ, 90,000 next year. WBC champion versus WBA IBF champion, Wembley. 90,000 people.
What about it?
Does it interest you?
like I said, I can't think past what I got coming to me.
Oh,
But,
let me ask you. Let me ask you.
I never turned down a fight. So
let me turn it around the other way. Does it mean if you win the WBC title, you'd retire?
Excuse me?
Does it mean that if you win the WBC title, you'd retire?
No, of course not.
Ah, so in that case, then it's an open book still.
Hey, it's about fighting, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's about fighting. So whoever's next on the list is whoever next on the list. I don't have any problem fight anybody. But
your thoughts on Marius Vac versus Dillian White?
Who?
Marius Vac versus Dillian White. Well, the guy's got a really massive long chin.
Okay, yeah. They're fighting.
Yeah, they're fighting. Dillian White's fighting him. Yeah.
I think I like Dillian. I like Dillian.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big chin dude is kind of like robotic.
Yeah.
So if Dillian could go around and don't stay in front of him, he should have it.
As long as he doesn't stand in front of him.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, there was a bizarre fight in New Zealand. I don't know if you saw it. It was one of your mates that you spar with, Joseph Parker, the WBO champion. He went 12 rounds against somebody said his mate, his sparring partner. Any thoughts?
I just, because to me, I thought he was fighting Fury, and I just yesterday because I asked who won that Parker fight, and they told me Parker won, but I assumed that he beat Fury. And then it's only yesterday that they told me that Fury pulled out.
Yeah.
Because of some injury, and somebody else fought some guy from Romania.
Yeah, Romanian guy. The guy looked twice the size of Parker, but he was terrible. I mean, terrible. Really terrible. Terrible. And Parker obviously didn't look great defensively.
Yeah.
I mean, now Parker's due to be coming to. I'm hearing rumors Parker's going to be defending his title next against Fury in Manchester. That's what I'm hearing now. Does that change anything?
That's a good. I don't know. Maybe not.
Now, Peter Fury said recently that they're going to pack on maybe an extra stone of muscle. That's going to make Fury much more stronger. Packing on muscle in your experience as a heavyweight boxer, does that make a difference in your punching power and your durability and stuff like that?
Stronger. I used to believe, you can get stronger. To me, right now, is you either born strong or not.
Okay.
You could increase your muscles, but that'll make you. Doesn't make you that much stronger per se. Yeah. I don't know.
I had
I mean,
Go on.
I'm not in a good position to talk about that, but I don't know. It's something that maybe, but it's not to become stronger. I don't think it's something that's very I don't know how to put it in words, but you know, the only thing to me is probably have your physique look different, you know, but to make you that's like telling me to train your chin, you know, or you're either born with a chin or not, you know. You can't increase your chin.
Well, there's people say if you do all the neck muscles, it increases the muscles of your neck, so then your neck's stiffer, so you're able to take the shot better because you've got better shock absorbers in your neck. Is that true?
Right, but yeah, but still, you either can take a punch or not. That's not that. That don't train your chin to be stronger.
Let me ask you this: have you seen in a Facebook video where he's got all these fighters lined up, and then the trainer comes along and he slaps each fighter as they start, and that's how he trains their chin. Have you seen that?
I've seen that, yeah.
You've seen it. Your thoughts on it?
Funny. It is funny. It's weird, but funny.
But there are people that actually believe these things. Actually, if you read certain forums, they believe this stuff.
Nah, well, I don't. Not me.
Right. The casual world. How much of the casual boxing fan has come across you, Bermane? How many casual fans have you spoken to? Have you met this new breed of boxing fan? The casual fan.
A lot.
Really?
A lot of. Yeah, a lot.
Which is give me an example of a casual fan that you've met, and what was the question they asked you? Apart from when you're going to fight Floyd Mayweather, of course.
Well, these kind of questions, yeah. I mean, these are the kind of questions they ask me, you know. You know, when am I gonna fight Floyd, or a lot of them. Some dude came and told me he was a fighter. He was 10 years old, and he punched a brick wall and broke the brick wall, and everybody was like, "Well, you should be a boxer." And he had a fight and nearly killed this kid, and they told him to stop because he was too dangerous. And that's why he stopped boxing, because they didn't want him to kill people. and that's a 45-year-old man that's talking to me.
Oh, you give me chest pains.
I was trying so hard to keep a straight face.
I've been stitching. I'm laughing in his face. I'm sorry.
So what I had to do is pretend that my cell phone rang, and I told him to hold it, and I walked away I told him to hold on a minute, and I walked away, and I busted out laughing. I couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, dear me. The casual world. I tell you, it's amazing. Have you had any more casual fans come up to you?
No. Listen, I got stories. Stories. I got a lot of stories.
You got a lot of stories?
Oh yeah, I got it. Sometimes are your hands registered? They must be registered. They must have your hands in the police station.
What?
You have to go and register your hands. I said register. He said, yeah, like a gun, because you have to register your hands, because And he told me his hands were registered. He said he had to go to the police station and register his hands. So I'm thinking like, what?
Oh, my.
Oh yeah.
Where'd you meet these guys, mate? Where'd you meet them?
Oh, I think it was in Florida. Yeah, it was in Florida. There's some stories I heard. I heard a lot of stories. Jesus.
Jesus. If you're gonna hear stories, you'll hear them in Florida for sure.
Oh yeah. Some of them telling me they used to spar with Floyd and this and that and blah blah blah. They used to spar with Tyson and oh God. Even telling me that I met one guy one day. He was like, "Well, I used to be a British champion."
Okay.
So, but then I don't know if you remember Boza Edward.
Yes, I remember him.
Yeah, he's from the UK, right?
Yes.
But this man didn't recognize Boza Edward. So he came in the gym at Floyd Gym and talking about, oh, he used to be a British champion, this, that. He was champion and he fought Chris Eubank and he fought everybody and he was champion for years. But then we went and we like, hey, Boza, him, his name is this and that. And the Boza's like, no, I don't know him. And then we were like, well, he was a British champion. And he was saying that he was a British champion at the same time that Boza was champion.
That would have been an interesting conversation.
Well, we told him that Boza was from the UK. he changed the whole
story.
His story. A lot of interesting people out there.
That is for sure. The rise of boxing media. I'm sure you're looking forward to them once this fight is announced with you and Wilder, and you have a press conference. How do you deal with the media today? In terms of how you approach them now, is it, you know, how is your perception of media today in 2017?
Well, if they thought I was rude before, you watch.
Oh shit.
If they thought I was rude before, then they haven't seen nothing yet.
Do you have a problem? Well, it's just a silly question to ask you if you have a problem with the media.
Nah, I mean, with
some media.
With some of them, you know, they were forced to talk about me when I was champion.
Okay.
When I lost the belt, they didn't say nothing about me. You know, and now, you know, I'm getting phone calls from here and there. Media from Canada, media from you know, from a lot of different places, you know.
Right.
But you also got the ones that even when I was champion or before champion and when I was champion and after when I was not champion, they always keep contact.
Mm-hmm.
So very selective on
who you engage with.
Of course, you know, they some of them wouldn't even cover the Povetkin fight, you know, or the Rossi fight, or you know, but now, you know, now that I'm about to dance the big dance again, so I see numbers. I see numbers or email, you know, try to contact me, and you know how it is.
Yeah, we know how it goes. So in terms of dealing with that now, does that leave a kind of bitter taste in your mouth when certain people that you know have written badly and dogged you out, then now come
but
to
that's not just media. A lot of, like I got people I forgot about. I got people I forgot about, and the depth, like from I don't know where they just pop up, you know. Call me, and because they might be saying, man, this man he might be able to be champion again. So let me So it's not just the media. It's a lot of people, but I keep my circle very, 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 very small. So like the first fight, I think a lot of people gave access to a lot of people that I shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about being more careful with this.
more smart. Sparring for this return fight. Are you going to use specific sparring partners? I mean, you're going to need guys that are taller.
I got two. I got three. And two of them are in the top 10. So
now, there was something that James Edward Shear said to us the other day. He said that having young guns, amateurs, guys who are just turning pro, who are hungry and fresh, make better sparring partners than guys who are top 10 ranked fighters that are just trying to look after themselves and their careers. Your thoughts?
Well, it depends. Of course, when you're big and you're trying to prove a point, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I think in 06, I was sparring for the first gym, the first two gyms. I think I for like 6 fights, and I was trying to, I was in there, trying to prove a point to myself, and I wanted to, see where I was at also, but I still think that it depends on the individual,
Right.
There's guys out there, they don't want it as bad as the others. So
when you pick a sparring partner, what do you want from that sparring partner when it comes for Bermane Stiverne?
Not to be like my opponent, but of course he has to mimic, but I'm looking for somebody to make me work. Somebody that of course very athletic. It's a big package, man. Like obviously for this fight, I need a couple tall guys, but I also need them to bring the best out of me.
Okay. What about a guy like Malik Scott?
Don't need him.
Marius Vac?
Perhaps. Just because he's tall.
Gerald Washington? Dominic Brazil?
Hold up, but now you're going to see this to find out who's coming.
No, I'm just throwing that. You open the door. You went, I've got 2 guys in the top 10. So I thought, well, okay, that's an open invitation.
Okay, but you already said you I told you I had 3, right?
Yeah. And 2 of them were in the top 10. You can't open the door.
So
remember, Bermane, I can set traps as well, you know.
You could have just asked me who they are instead of doing that.
Yeah, but then if I ask you who they are, you could say to me, well, you know, I'm not going to really tell you that. So then go down that route, try something different instead.
No, there's a couple guys. You know, some of them are on the WBC and some of them are in the IBF.
Okay.
You know, and I think they'll be great.
Here's a guy who I think would be perfect. But he's got a fight coming up, actually. He fights Bermane. He fights Bermane. He fights Derek Chisora. Robert Helenius.
Not really.
Height, reach, power.
Yeah, height, reach, but he's not if I was fighting Klitschko, he'd be perfect. Yeah. If I was to fight any guys that's in the European guys, you know,
Eastern European style.
Right. But when you look at Wilder, he's a guy that got 2 left feet, you know, and move around like he's like a chicken with no head. So I need somebody that moves a lot, you know.
Did you find it difficult to get past the jab?
Excuse me?
Did you find it difficult to get past the Chase jab?
No, I don't. The only reason why I didn't was because of my condition. I saw everything. I saw everything, and well, the first fight I put that behind me, and I still haven't watched the fight. I still haven't watched that fight, so you know it's the beginning. So, like I said, this fight I'm about to fight. This fight, the second fight, it will be something that's way
different.
It will be different than the first one.
Can I ask you a question? One other question.
Different.
Before we finish.
Yes, sir.
Why is it that short trainers try to mimic tall fighters with long poles and not have tall guys? Why do short trainers try to imitate tall fighters with long poles?
Short trainers?
Trainers that are short try to mimic tall fighters with long poles.
Like who?
Well, as an example, when you had for example, you had Dave Colwell, who's about 5 foot, and you had David Price, who's like 6'7".
Right.
Doing the pads. Or you've got a situation where you've got someone like David Haye trying to move his head with Adam Booth, who's no taller than about 5'10", against Vladimir Klitschko, who's like 6'7". So would it not be smarter to have somebody taller do the same thing, because it's more realistic, than have somebody shorter trying to pop the jab all the time with a pole? I mean, I just want to know thoughts on that. Well, how effective is that?
It could be effective, but it depends on fighter. Emmanuel Stewart, that used to train Vladimir. Emmanuel was not that tall.
However, the secret and the magic of Emmanuel Stewart that a lot of people don't know is that Emmanuel Stewart had a team of people around him that people didn't talk about.
That was what I was going to say. Also, you know, it's also good for if the trainer is that short and the fighter is that tall, to have somebody else, and the trainer would, you know, tell them what to do or how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay, fair enough.
That would be something that, I mean, to me, that's the best way to go about it.
A final question from somebody here is asking: is your legendary hand speed still good?
My hand speed is still there. The hand is still there. The power is still there.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the world apart from the exclusive you gave us early on, that the fight is on and time and date, it just needs to be confirmed? So for those people who tuned in late, if you could just repeat that last bit before we close, Bermane.
What's that?
About the date and the time and the place, and it's more or less.
That's your job. You're the host.
I'm the host, but you're the man.
But the man already said it.
Yeah, but you can say it again in Bermane Stiverne, in the Bermane Stiverne way. I can't do Bermane Stiverne. I'd have to get like a Barry White. I can't do Bermane Stiverne.
So what am I saying now?
Well, you're meant to tell the world that exclusively on BWTM you have confirmed that you and Wilder will get it on, and there has been an agreement.
It's yeah, the two promoters, my promoters and his promoter, agree, and there's an agreement. Now, the date is not confirmed, or the venue. They're still working on that. Something that will happen this summer. So you heard it from.
I heard it from the horse's mouth. I heard it from Bermane Stiverne's mouth.
Take a picture, record it, tell them I said it.
Right, that's fantastic. People ask me, where's my... People say to me, Ingram, where's your sources? I've just finished interviewing you. Bermane Stiverne says this is going to happen. Then they say to me, where's your source? I said, Bermane said it. But that's not a source. I said, what are you talking about? That's the perfect source.
They're believers, you know.
Right.
Non-believers.
I think I want to say thank you.
A lot of people, I see a lot of comments sometimes of them I read, and then they're like, well, you know, mandatory takes over the no, did they say unification takes over mandatory, you know? And I'm sitting there laughing like, if they only knew what. So, you know, that like is since maybe after the fight, when I got a call, and not the call, but since Russia, when the fight was canceled, that day I knew they told me that I was the mandatory. I just didn't say nothing to public. And
you brought the news on our channel.
Yeah, and then I think right after his fight, with Washington, the president of the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, posted that Wilder has the mandatory, and that was me. And then I was just waiting on him to say something, and you know what I'm saying? And I went and repeat, and it's what he said. Never gave anybody any I think today, just to keep people quiet, say it again.
Okay.
The two promoters, which is DK, my promoter, and Al Heyman, his promoter, or his advisor, sorry, an agreement.
Thank you for that, Bermane. And can you confirm that you will confirm the date and the time exclusively on Bayloric TV? You want to tell anybody else before then? Can we hold you to that? I'll try to, you know.
Okay, look. Text.
You'll shoot me a text. Yeah, you can shoot me the text, but when you shoot me the text, it ain't the same as you coming live and saying.
Well, I mean,
date and time.
That's what we to call me and do what we do today. You know, so
sounds good. I'm looking forward to it in the next week or so.
Right.
Is that being optimistic?
Oh, listen. All I'm waiting on is for a call, and I mean, the first call that I'm gonna get probably is the date, and then telling me that we got a preference or something.
Vegas?
So,
would you prefer Vegas?
I would hope so. I lost it there, so let me get back over here.
Madison Square Garden?
Why not?
Barclays Center?
Why not?
Dubai?
I'll go to Alabama if I got to.
Oh, you'll go to Alabama?
I would go to Alabama.
But you'd have to deal with all the bomb squads.
Hey, this bomb squad cannot fight for him. Only him can fight for him. They can't fight for him.
And to close with you, Bermane, do you have a message to the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay Wilder? If he's watching, I'm sure somebody's going to send this to him.
Don't have anything to say, but see you soon, my brother.
See you soon, my brother. You're happy with that?
Well, I'm happy with that. What else to say? I mean, there's nothing else to say. But see you soon.
Bermane Stiverne, thank you once again for being a guest on BWTM. We appreciate you so much. And we are looking so much forward to the announcement of the fight itself. And I hope it lands somewhere near my birthday. I really do, which is July the 15th is my birthday.
Already, hopefully.
Champ,
Well, yeah.
Thank you so much, as always. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
There you have it. Bermane Stiverne on the mission to become two-time heavyweight champion of the world. And again, exclusively confirms that there's been an agreement between Don King and Al Heyman that the fight is on. Stiverne, Wilder 2. That's it from us, BWTM Sports Channel. We're out. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Night.